Happy Card Challenge Wednesday to you all. I hope you all are having a beautiful day so far. In today's tutorial, I am going to be creating a fall Thinking of You card for our card challenge this week. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kristina Reese, and this is Creating with Kristina. I come live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on my Facebook page to bring card tutorials to help card makers, sharing art design skills, and all that fun stuff. So, now, last week's challenge was a card sketch, and I want to tell you all, you blew it out of the water again. Your card sketch, the way you interpreted the sketch was just amazing. For those of you who have not had a chance to see them all, just go to the post for last week's challenge and scroll through the comments to see all the beautiful cards. But this week's challenge is going to be a leaf challenge. So you're going to have leaves in your card. But before we get into all that, let's see who last week's winner was. Now, I use an app called the Comment Picker, and it just shuffles all of the card entries and picks one at random. And it picked Susan Wilkinson. Congratulations, Susan. You are the winner of last week's challenge. I will be sending you a nice little prize in the mail. And for the rest of us, we are on to this week's challenge. So let me set myself up here and pull that over, that down. And I've put facebook.com/creating with Kristina for those of you who are watching on YouTube, okay? To enter the challenge, you must go to the Facebook page and put your card in the comments of the post. And I always pin the post at the top. Okay, so once again, congratulations to Susan, and let's get started. So I'm going to be pulling from several items from my stash in my craft room today, and I'm going with some really fun colors. So the first color, the first thing is the paper that I'm using is the Harvest Meadow, and if you're not familiar with this card paper pack, it's some beautiful soft fall colors, okay? Sometimes we think of those dark regals, but these are more of a pastel. I love it. That mint macaron just really pulls it all together, I think. But this is the color scheme that we're using. My card base is going to be in soft suede, and then I'm going to have a mint macaron layer like that, and then I'm going to pull the Calypso coral here, this piece. I'm going to put that right there. Whoops. Okay. And finally, I am going to pull this cork paper. I don't know if have y'all seen this specialty paper, but it is an actual cork that is on this paper. It's a super, super thin, but it's fairly sturdy, but it is cork, and it's pretty cool. So we're going to be using that. And I am losing my voice again. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to be using the soft suede ink and a sponge dauber. So I'm going to be, I can't seem to pick this up. There we go. All right. If you all don't have sponge daubers in your stash, I highly encourage you to get some. You can use them for all kinds of techniques. What else do we need? We need the, I already told you about the DSP. Okay, we're going to use a few dies. The first die that I'm pulling out, I haven't used this very often, but I'm using this. Let me pull it up for you. One side has dots embossed and the other side has stitches embossed. And this side, whoops, pull it over here so you all can see that. I used the dots, but the, what happened to my negative piece? Oh, there we go again. All right, well, anyways, the negative piece that I saved for another card had the stitches on it. Okay, what else am I using? All right, for my sentiment, I need more Thinking of You cards, more encouragement cards. I'm in a card ministry at my church, and so I'm always looking for encouragement cards. And Encircled in Friendship has some beautiful ones, but I wanted a single line sentiment. This card that I'm making today really sets it itself nicely for a single line sentiment. You're in my thoughts. So that's what we're using today. And this is from Encircled in Friendship. Okay, so we've got that. Got that. What else do we have? We have the intricate leaf dies. Okay, now this is a bundle. When you purchase these together, you get 10% off. So I'm not actually stamping anything with the stamp set today. Well, maybe on the inside I will. But it's these two intricate pieces that I'm using today to make some pretty leaves. What else have I got? Ribbon. I'm using the ribbon that goes with the Harvest Meadow Suite. And it's just a really beautiful kind of a crocheted ribbon, really pretty. And I'm also using our brushed metallic dots. Okay, so those are all the supplies I'm using. Let's put this card together. Here we go. Oh, okay. Like I said, the first thing is our base. So we have basic, our base is soft suede, and it's just 8.5 by 5.5. Very simple, basic card base. All right, next thing, and we folded it in half. Next thing is the mint macaron. The mint macaron measures at 3 3/4 by 5. I wanted a 1/4 inch border all the way around. Okay, so we're just gonna tape that on there. Oh, wait a minute. No, I can't tape that on there yet. Whoa. I want to use my sponge. Okay. Have you all, this was very popular in the 90s when we made everything very vintage looking, but we took a sponge and we just flicked it on the edge to kind of give it that distressed look there. And that, I'm gonna pull it up so you all can see that better. Okay, and so you just dip it in the ink. Whoops, let me pull that down so you can see what I'm doing. Just dipping it in the ink and then very lightly, just taking it and flicking it along the edge. What this does is gives your card a little more dimension, okay? When the mint macaron sits on the soft suede cardstock, it's got a harsh line there, and so I'm softening it up with a little ink on the edge. Okay, so that was pretty simple. I'm gonna put that away. Katie says the leaf set is on my next order. Oh yes, so many beautiful things in the catalog, you all. It's so hard to not just buy it all. All right, our next thing is we're going to also use the soft suede to stamp our sentiment down here on the bottom. So I've got "You're in my thoughts," and I'm just gonna ink that up really well. And I'm going to center that right there. Perfect. Okay. Now I can put my ink away. Next thing is the DSP. All right, so I already showed you how I did this. I had a piece that was 3.5 by 3 3/4. Then I took the border die and I cut a border at the bottom, and this is going to sit right there on our card. Okay, so that's really nice. Next thing is we need to cut some leaves out, and so like I said, I took the intricate dies and I cut one out in Calypso Coral and one out in Mint Macaron. Okay, now this maple leaf has a very long stem, and I don't want my stem going down into my sentiment, so I am going to trim that off. So let me get some snips here. And I want them about the same length. There we go, just like that. And those are gonna go right there. What else are we gonna do? We need to cut the cork piece, so I've already done that, and this is 3.5 by 2. 3.5 by 2, and that's just gonna go right there like that. And now let's layer and assemble. Now let's get our tape out. Here we go. So the first step is this piece. And remember, if you are going to hand deliver this, then put as much dimension as you want. However, if you are planning on putting this through the US mail, you need to be very careful that you do not make your card more than 1/4 inch thick, or they will charge you extra postage, okay? And because I am going to be tying a knot with this ribbon, that knot's gonna be kind of thick, I need to make sure I'm careful with not putting too much dimension on. Now I am going to pop this up, but let's go ahead and put these pieces on first. And like I said, this is real cork. It's so cool. I just love it. Whoops, come on, don't stick down too fast. Okay. Make sure that, sometimes it's helpful to have some grid paper to make sure you are Yeah, I didn't think so. That looked a little crooked. Okay, so there we go. Now it's on there straight. So we have that. And now I'm going to get out the liquid glue. I have the intricate, there's really no place for even a glue dot there. I mean, it is really tiny. If you wanted the leaf to lie flat, I would have used adhesive sheets before I cut it out. However, I don't. I want the leaves to kind of stick up. So I'm just going to glue down the part where the stem comes out. Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue there, and it's okay if it squishes out because we're going to put the bow over that. All right, so we're going to just put this here, kind of where the stem comes out. Whoops, and we also need to be careful not to go over the edge of the card. So I need to come in some. There we go, that works. And then put just a little bit more glue for the other leaf. Okay, and this one is going to go right here. All right, and then, okay, so I've got all that down. Lift up my hands. Where's my knot? Here's my knot. And so all I did is I just took the ribbon and I just tied it in a knot and trimmed the edges. Just real simple. Didn't do anything fancy. But I do need to get some glue on here. Okay, well, I'll put it on here. It'll be easier. There we go. And now I'm just going to press down. Okay, and I'm just going to hold it there for a minute. What do you guys think so far? Let me see if we have any. The comments come in so fast. I love it. Got a lot of good mornings. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Tammy says, oh, I like that. I never think to use my border punches and dies like that. There you go. That's why I'm here for you, Tammy. And Patty says, I love my grid paper. Use it all the time to make sure things are straight. Absolutely. Okay. I think that's down there enough now. It'll dry more as it sits here, but that's enough for now. Now what I want to do is put this up on dimensionals. So I'm going to flip it over and get my dimensionals out. Okay. And put one there, and there, and there. And I think I've used up this sheet. I love it. Now save these. Don't forget, when you want to put down a whole size layer down in one fell swoop, that's what that's for. You want to save those. Okay. And in the center, there we go. All right, and then if y'all haven't seen this trick where you take a paper piercer and you just stab and pick up the backings and they all stay on the paper piercer unless one falls off. And so they don't get all over your craft room floor. Of course, they probably will still get all over your craft room floor, but you try to keep it somewhat clean. All right, here, you ready for the magic? I love this, putting on the final part. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Okay, I'm going to lift it up. Now, no, we're not quite finished because we haven't put our bling on yet. That is one thing I tend to always forget is my bling. After, when I'm filming with you all, and then I take a picture and I go, oh, I forgot the bling. All right, now we have 3 colors to choose from on this. We have the green, but I don't think the green will work with this. We have the copper. That's okay, but I'm really liking the gold the best. And so I am going to take 2 up here. Okay, 1 and keep them the same size. 2, whoops, come here. All right, and I'm thinking I was wanting to put 2 down here. 2 down here, 2 here. I kind of want something around you're in my thoughts. So yeah, I'm going to put 2 down here. Okay, 1. And 2. There we go. All right, so now what's happened? Now this is an art design tip. What I've done is your eye wants to look at both of these gold dots at the same time, these grouping of gold dots at the same time. And when it does that, it brings you to this beautiful leaf collage here, okay? And now it just kind of brings the whole card together, okay? That's why we put elements on our card to help our eye draw to the most important part or to a specific part of your artwork, okay? Anyways, I hope you all like this card challenge. The idea is that you put leaves on your card. So it doesn't matter what kind of card you make. You can make a birthday card, a happy Thanksgiving card, whatever you want. Happy fall, y'all. It just has to have leaves on it, okay? And it can be in pinks and purples. It doesn't have to be fall colors. It just has to have leaves, okay? All right. Go over to, if you're on my YouTube, go over to my Facebook page, Creating with Kristina, and you will see the post pinned at the top. And for those of you who are watching live on Facebook, this video is going to drop down, and the post for posting your, I'm losing my mind here, post your card will be there. I think you all are getting used to this now. You have to post your card in the comments of the post, challenge post. Because I use the comment picker, it's only going to pick names from that post, okay? All right, that's it. Oh, Lori asked, what DSP did I use? I used Harvest Meadows. Isn't that beautiful, Lori? Yes, yes, yes. I love Harvest Meadows. All right. Anything else? Congratulations again, Susan. And come back Friday, you guys. I have a very fun Halloween thing to make for your neighbors, okay? A really cool idea to give to your neighbors. Okay, see you Friday. Bye-bye.